Okay.
It's late. I was getting my cheeks demolished.
Last night on the couch,
I was getting my fucking back walls blown out, dude.
Fighting. He has defeated. Spoiler alert. I wake up. I turn on Amouranth's stream, and she's crying. And I did not know what was going on because her title was like Overwatch 2 drops with Moist Critical. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Well, like, what could be possibly going on here? Tune in. And what I found was absolute insanity. Okay. I've heard in the past of things like this happening. It is, I would say, because of the industry that she's in, because she's a sex worker, it's like borderline sex trafficking. It's definitely pimping. It's abusive. It's exploitative. And I could not comprehend how this got to this point that it did, especially with someone that I know, like someone that I've met, someone that I've hung out with, someone that I know is like a strong, independent figure, right? Turns out Amouranth was in a domestically abusive marriage for the past 7 years. That's right. Past 7 years, Amouranth has been in a relationship. She's had a husband and the husband was basically dominating her life in every capacity. And from what I understand, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't see everything because I was sleeping for most of it, and then I went back to sleep, and I haven't had time to look into it further. Okay, but now you found out that, like, the secret husband was responsible for the husband being a secret. Like, she wanted to reveal it. You know what I mean? And people are still somehow mad at Amouranth. And at that point, I think it's a perfect example of the reality that you just fucking hate women. Like, you don't... Like, this person is a victim in every sense of the fucking word, and you're still finding a way to, like, flip this on her. You just hate women. That's what it is. I think we saw a lot of that with the Andrew Tate saga, where people felt the freedom and the comfort to be able to finally come out with this bold take, right? But it's nuts. It's just fucking completely bananas to look at a situation where someone is, like, completely brutally victimized by their partner, who she was in a relationship with, and this person put his fucking tentacles all around the business and was basically dominating every part of her fucking life, making her stream, okay? Making her stream incredibly long hours, telling her, basically telling her, like, we have another tier to go. We have another tier to go. We have to go further. We have to go further consistently throughout the entire relationship. She even had a phone conversation with this dude on stream. She showed, this is the perfect victim everyone wants, and they're still like, nah, fuck you, you lied. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's through and through. It's like almost like a Britney conservatorship situation, pretty much. Do you think Twitch has some sort of responsibility here? Wait, what? Fuck this. I mean, maybe. I don't think so. What? How does Twitch have a responsibility on this? What? What, you think Twitch knew? Anyway, people think just because there's profit, they shouldn't feel sorry for her. Lack of empathy really makes people look really bad. There are so many different camps in the way that people analyze information. When I first looked at it, I couldn't comprehend it. Like, when I first saw this, I could not comprehend it. I was like, how the fuck could this happen? I saw some of the text messages of her husband literally fucking being like, you have to stream or I'll kill your dog. You have to stream or I'll kill your horse. He has control over the fucking bank account. So he's like, I'm going to liquidate every fucking asset by dumping it into, like, shitty crypto. $250,000 down the drain. $400,000 down the drain. Yeah. Like a nightmare situation. A nightmare situation. Saying all of this, and she finally, I guess, had a breaking point. All of her accounts have her husband's number as a 2-factor authorization. Yeah. basically, here, let's get started on this. Okay, here. Trigger warning, domestic abuse. This is a very serious subject. It's you know, it's weird because like Amouranth is an institution in and of herself. It's weird because like I've met this person. She has you know, assistants with her all the time. Like it's just anyway. So also puts her Vice video from a while in a different perspective. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like domestic abuse is such a tricky situation to like analyze and encounter and observe and be able to identify, because oftentimes, because it's the closest person to you both physically and emotionally, that they can get you to stop like revealing anything. They can stop you from revealing everything. This is a person that you trust. This is a person that you, from what I understand, like I've been in an abusive relationship, but I've never seen anything obviously to this degree. I've never experienced anything obviously to this degree, right? I've talked about that in the past. But like you can literally, you just defend the partner from every instance of victims that I've talked to, from everything I know. These kinds of abusive situations are really hard to interpret from the outside, even if you're super fucking close to these people. You can literally be their friend, okay? You can literally be their friend and not know, because you know because they'll just hide it. They don't want to believe it personally. You might be in a fucking abusive relationship without recognizing it right now. You might be in an exploitative relationship without recognizing it currently, because you're like, I love this person. I've been with this person for so long. That feeling of comfort and security that person has given you throughout that relationship is something that you want to desperately cling on to. And some people are fucking demons and they take advantage of that. And there's a cycle of abuse. And it seems like Amouranth 100% was a part of that cycle of abuse with her domestic partner, with her husband. What I understand, things went south when, and I cannot believe this was the most insane part of this to me. I could not comprehend this. Like I literally had to ask people how the fuck this happened. Apparently she wanted to go to Disneyland. She had not taken a day off, and her husband was not letting her take a day off from streaming. And she said, if you want to go if you want to take a vacation to Disneyland, you have to stream 24 hours. And this was that 24-hour stream. Yeah. And this is what like finally caused her to break down, it seems like. And there's obviously probably a lot of information that we're not privy to. But it was a forcible labor circumstance, and these text messages and the phone conversations will basically show that to you. Let's get started with this, though. Like I said, trigger warning. Amouranth has revealed that she has a husband. Along with revealing his abuse, he has threatened to kill her dogs, take all their money, and forced her to stream.
You say you were going to kill my dogs.
Leave the house.
Okay, I can leave the... you know what? Actually, I shouldn't leave the house because my dogs are here.
We'll take the dogs and leave. You're asking the question, I'm telling you, and you're answering my fucking, telling you. Literally. Literally.
What are you saying? You just told me you were going to kill dogs if I didn't do a 24-hour stream.
Nope, did not say that. Now you're just fucking being a liar.
I'm not
I said
He is so comfortable in abusing and exploiting Amouranth that he doesn't even give a fuck. Like, he's live in front of thousands of people and he's literally fucking behaving like he has very obviously behind closed doors. That shit is crazy.
To tell you what I heard from you. Then you called me a liar.
Then you tell me, what did you say?
What are you even talking about? You brought up the dogs out of nowhere.
Exactly.
So what?
Prove a point.
What point is there to prove?
See? You're proving my point right now.
What? I'm asking you to... I don't even understand what you're saying to me.
I know. That's my point. My point is, are you listening or not? If you're not, then get the fuck out.
I'm literally listening any sense.
Well, no, you're not listening because it makes perfect sense. I'm gonna say it one more time. If you don't get it, I need you to get the fuck out.
I just apparently he's a streamer,
Why?
by the way. Like, which is crazy. He forced her to continue saying she was single and commit to being a hot tub streamer. So there was a point in the relationship when they started going to therapy, from what I understand. And when they went to therapy, she said that things got a little bit better. Now, of course, this is a cycle of abuse. It's a repeat pattern. Once someone is like abusive to you, it's almost like Pandora's box. I believe in redemption. I believe in leading by empathy, even towards criminals, as I've talked about. And yeah, from what I understand, there were instances where she wanted to legitimately feel like things were good, and you know, there was this whole like there was this whole, you know, relapse, I guess, after therapy component to it. Things seemingly were getting better, but then I don't know how to fix it. Okay. Here, I'll lower my fucking noise gate a little bit. I mean, not lower my noise gate, but like I'll lower my voice a little bit more so it doesn't. Anyway, so after that, the hot tub meta popped off. And he was like literally telling her to be in the fucking hot tub nonstop. And once the hot tub meta popped off, you know, that cycle of abuse exploded once again.
The therapist even told him that it's a form of like psychological abuse, and that I'm basically living in a fancy prison. And then he was changed for a bit, and then the hot tub meta arose, and he was like, oh, this is an opportunity. And then he turned into an asshole again when I agreed to commit to the grind because it was a good financial opportunity for us. I've been wanting to tell people that, like, let's just stream together. Just tell them that we're fucking married, because it's like our relationship would be better if we just stream them. And it's fighting all the time. But no, mister, don't say that because it's going to ruin the business model. It's not time yet. Fuck yourself. I'm done with it. I'm not going to.
So, like, what a lot of people need to understand is, first of all, Amouranth is a very successful sex worker, right? She has a OnlyFans. She does a lot. I respect her. I respect her for fucking grinding nonstop. Didn't even realize that it was also being forced by someone else. But ultimately, sex workers are normal human beings. I know that a lot of people think like, oh, well, they're objectifying themselves, so we can objectify them all the time. This is a concept that we've talked about time and time again on this broadcast, that like, even like, especially sex workers, but even sex workers, if you can't comprehend that, are still human beings when they're not doing sex work, and you're not supposed to be objectifying them. Why am I explaining all this? Because, of course, these people have wives. These people have husbands. These people have partners. They are normal human beings. They have political opinions. They have real experiences. They're not just like an object of desire. And it's fine to consume that content in the way that it's intended to be consumed, but those boundaries need to remain within the content that you're consuming. The moment that they're not doing that, you're not supposed to fucking behave like an animal, okay? And see, this... Benim dediğimi anlayabilsen evet. İnsanlar hala normal insanlar, okay? Dığı zaman OnlyFans'ci değil. Normal bir insan, Caitlyn. Anlatabiliyor muyum? Hayvan ol. Anyway, probably going to be some fucking Turkish people in here also popping off in identical ways that American people pop off, because misogyny is a universal concept. Okay. So, like I said, she's a human being, regardless of her profession. Sex workers should not be objectified and dehumanized, and it's a genuine issue that they go through. It's one that I did not understand when I was younger either, but you can also change your mind, okay?
Fuck you anymore. You want me to tell them I'm single? It's about to be true, piece of shit. The therapist.
So then he threatened to leave her. So when she says, like, I'm going to leave you,
I'm going to leave.
He has control over, he has complete financial control over her life. From what I understand, the two-factor authorization, the two-factor authentication is like controlled by his phone number. He has access to the bank accounts. What do you mean how? He was like a husband and a business manager. How do you guys not understand at this point? At first, I didn't fucking get it. At first, I did not understand it. At first, I could not comprehend it either. So I'm being very charitable to people who don't get it. Because I was like, how is this even physically possible that someone can get to this point? Someone can be abused this much. And that is because we're very privileged and very fortunate people, okay? That's the truth. I am a person with a profound amount of privilege that I can't even, it's not within my realm of comprehension, okay? But that's what this is. One of the things that abusive partners do is basically put their tentacles in every part of your fucking lives. Okay? If this person has been around before she even blew up, she feels as though he knows the real her. You know what I mean? People, when they become famous, have a fear that, like, no matter who they encounter, they are going to want something from them. They're going to want not just who they are as a real human being, who they are when the cameras are off, but just what they can offer them. Okay? So that's one other reason why people like this sometimes can find themselves trapped in a relationship and like routinely try to justify it internally in their minds to say, oh, well, this is the real me and this person loves the real me. And like, maybe it will get back to the good days, the good old days. And this person very clearly took over every aspect of her life, every facet of her life. Okay? Here are some of the examples.
Leave you with 1 million and I'm going to take the rest because I worked harder than you. It's like, and if you don't agree, then I'm going to burn it all in court. I'm going to put it all in fucking crypto. Blah. Just always threats, always threats. All the fucking accounts are like two-factor under his number and he has all like the login information of things, you know. It's like keeps you there with the fear and the threats. And you fear that he's going to do something to your animals. And then he's nice again. And it says everything's going to be okay. I'm going to leave you with 1 million.
Then there are some text messages that she had screenshotted from him calling her a dumb fuck, supposedly throwing money away from her accounts and his threats when she wasn't responding to him. This will probably offer a little bit more clarity for those of you who don't understand it. For those of you who are like still having a hard time comprehending it. These text messages, like when I saw them, I was like, this dude is also, and this is not an excuse for his behavior, but it's very clear that this dude is also mentally incredibly unwell, okay? You don't write shit like this if you are, mentally sound, all right?
Next time when I say plan,
here.
Do it. Dumb fuck, do you understand? Like what plan talking about? It's like, fuck this, I'm calling you. So I disappeared from stream. Take a call. So I'm gonna tell them I can't talk right now. We're getting Wi-Fi. I don't care. You get the call now. Last chance. About to dump your luggage. From my hotel room. But throwing your stupid merch off the balcony. Proceeding to ditch your stuff. You don't need the makeup or the live view. Like the stream epic. Or the clothes. Huh? Deleting social media in 1 minute. Buying options that expire and blasting the cash. About to shut down bank account. Your bank account too. Lag is terrible. Stream is garbage. It's like...
Lag is terrible. This stream is like this shit is like, bro. This shit is like an abusive boss, but it's additionally fucked up because you're like, if this was just your boss, it would be illegal. It's criminal if this is just your boss, right? But it's not just her boss. It's her husband and also the person that controls every aspect of her life. Think about that. Like the most deranged, psychotic behavior. Gonna donate $250K to Palamacy in the next 2 minutes. $250K gone. I will donate $500K in 3 minutes. If no call in 1 minute, I will absolutely make sure Kieran goes to the meat packing house.
About to delete Twitter in 30 seconds. If you don't call me, your phone's literally off, right? I'm just like, it literally died.
The wording is like a disgruntled parasocial viewer. That's what I thought too. That's the most insane part about it. Like, I've read sequence of words like this on the internet a lot. I encounter shit like this a lot in my, I have like stalkers, parasocial fans, deranged people online that are going through like a manic episode or something like that. And it reads exactly in the same way. It's just like, it's crazy. It's like, and I think Kieran is either her dog or her horse. Yeah, here, this is
You know what you are.
I would lock my door, but he broke that too. So,
Best advice I can give during my divorce my grandma gave. This too shall pass.
Both phones from me. And so I ran in here to call the cops, and he literally kicked the door in and broke, like, this doesn't even have a hinge anymore. And then he also, another day, right before the ST Peach game, he was like trying to smash my phone against my computer, tried to pour monster on my computer,
timing,
and then
but
took
I
the
need
fucking
$50,000.
took like one of the objects in my room. I think it was like one of the chairs or one of the tables, and like hit it against this wall and made this. This was my dog. This was him. Just like throw stuff. Fucking water bottles.
No one
and
should
shit,
be putting
just
hands
throw
on you
things,
in
and I'm
other
like,
than a
"You throw it at
loving
me." He's like,
manner.
no, I didn't. I threw it in your direction, but not at you, to the side of you. Didn't hit you. Wasn't trying to hit you.
yeah. The wild part about it, of course, because it's fucking Twitch and because it's Amouranth, an institution, the chat was fucking insane. What I mean by that is that, like, people were literally partially being like, fuck you, bitch, you deserve it. People were partially being like, you know, you're lying, whatever. You know, you had the freaks. And then you had the other freaks that were like, oh, baby, you look so hot right now. I would treat you so well. I would treat you much better than that guy, which blew my fucking mind. And it's just like, I see stuff like that. I'm like, I can't, this is insane. Like, it just, how? Like, people trying to use this as an opportunity to flirt with her. Like, while she's literally going through a fucking mental breakdown. Incels, white knights, and drama frogs. Yeah. Did you hear back from her when you reached out? No, because I don't know who controls her accounts anyway. This clip sums up the husband pretty well, in my opinion.
Make sure that, you know, you are disconnected from everybody else. It's, you know, like if you suddenly have time for friends, he'll be like, oh, no time for friends. Here, we gotta work for the next stream. There you go. Make sure they're disconnected from others as soon as possible, because if they have people to talk to, that means people will realize what the fuck is happening to her. And when they realize,
yeah, this is fucking true as hell.
What the fuck is happening to her, and she's being manipulated and controlled, the jig is up. You see what I mean? It's a classic pimp textbook shit. You know what I mean? Whenever a pimp sees his hoe, you know, like outsourcing or, you know, starting to make new connections, he will fucking strike her down. You know what I mean?
So here's the thing, right? The continuation of this domestic abuse and the continuation of this exploitation relies on Amouranth being isolated from everyone. Because if she feels like she has a comfort, if she feels like she can have a support system outside, this is why partners always should maintain a level of independence in relationships, in loving relationships, in trusting, loving, healthy relationships. Partners should always have something beyond codependency, okay? Because that keeps the relationship healthy, and also on top of that kind of independence will allow you to get a cooler head that is outside of the immediate cycle of abuse to offer feedback. Did you meet her husband? Was he the guy that's always backstage with her when she was out and about? No, I don't think that's the guy. I think that's this guy. Where is it? Hold on. I think that's this guy, the guy I met, who was like the content lead for Amouranth. That's not the husband, I don't think. Does it make sense now why I had to stream on Kay's channel all day Saturday at TwitchCon? Also for the skeptics, here's a picture of Amouranth locked out of her hotel in the 911 call I made while he was yelling at her on Monday morning. No, this is like the cameraman and not the husband, and I think just works for Amouranth. I was super stressed about losing my job after Monday, and that stress is what leads good people to turn a blind eye to shitty situations. I'm glad it's all coming to light, and I'm glad I at least tried to do the right thing. A screenshot of a 5-minute 911 dial isn't proof of anything, lol. Still 100% calling this a PR stunt. I mean, dude, homies are fucking brain broken, you know? Dude. If you can't comprehend Amaranth's side in this, it like I'm charitable to a certain degree with respect to like people being like, this is so crazy because like she was such a beacon of like independence. You know what I mean? Like to a certain degree. If you're like, she was such a beacon of independence, how the fuck could this happen to someone who many people, even people close to her, thought was like an independent woman who was, so successful and so hardworking on her own? There's that. But anything beyond that, assuming that this is like a cynical PR stunt or assuming that this is being done for any other purpose, like that's crazy. Why the fuck would this be the PR stunt? There's so many other things that you could do for PR. Would she have a dozen assistants constantly surrounded? That's what fucks with me the most. The only guy who found his courage was that cameraman. That's what I don't understand. I immediately thought someone needs to get her out of there. You being friends with her? Have you offered asylum? Do you know anyone that has? Of course, man. What the fuck do you mean? Everyone immediately reached out. I know Cutie and Lud reached out. I reached out. Like, but she's not currently answering anybody as far as I know. Okay? Also, this is like a person that makes like around $20 million a month or some shit, dude. I don't think she needs to do a fucking PR stunt on top of anything else. If anything, this ruins her, this ruins certain aspects of her career. The fuck are you talking about? Was the marriage a secret? I don't know. I never really, like I had heard that she had a husband or some shit, right? But I didn't really give a shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't know. There's this part of me where I'm like, there's this part of me where I'm like, these are still like, content creators should have an element of privacy in their lives if they choose to. You know what I mean? Like it's nuts. You don't have to know everything. Google says she married someone in 2015. I don't know. I don't want to name drop the guy. It's a different guy now. You know what I mean? Kind of ish people knew a few years ago, but she didn't talk about it. In her main clip, she says she literally asked her not to do so. So it wasn't even her choice in the manipulation. Yeah. I saw the clips where she basically fucking stated, I saw the clips where she basically fucking stated that she wanted him to be on the stream and stuff. And he was like, no, you need to keep it a secret. You need to keep it a secret. You need to keep it a secret for the content, for the business model. Not the right time.
Gonna donate $250,000 to Polo Missy. It's like a bird sanctuary he likes. In the next 2 minutes, it's like the next time when I say plan, do it. Dumb fuck, do you want?
Anyway. Amouranth showed text messages of him calling a dumb fuck. Is she safe now and her dog's with control of the accounts, or is this just happening? This is only just happening. The final moment of the stream, one of her assistants walks in and then the stream cuts out.
Hello? I haven't gotten any calls. What are you talking about? Why would you ask if I'm taking?
Now, look at the door behind her. Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's like something is moving in that situation, but...
What are you talking about? Why would you ask if I'm taking?
Like the door moves, and that's why you see the reflection of that move. The door opens, but I don't know if that's the assistant talking to her through the door, and she says, "Are you taking your medications?" We don't know what that is. We don't need to know what that is really, but I don't know. And then her internet cuts out, and those are her. From context of this, he's been threatening to turn off her internet the whole time. I did think that it was a weird. I did think that it was a weird question to ask as well, especially publicly. Instead of just saying that, instead of saying like, "Are you doing all right? Is everything okay?" Just asking about that, because I think like that is not helpful. And instead cast like can be weaponized by people who have ulterior motives to say that she's not well. and could potentially discredit her story, despite the fact that she has a lot of evidence showing years and years of abuse.
Why
at
did
this
you say
point.
you were gonna kill my dogs?
Oh, here.
I've been wanting to tell people that, like, let's just stream together. Just tell them that we're fucking married, because it's like our relationship would be better if we just stream them. And it's fighting all the time. But no, Mister, don't say that because it's gonna ruin the business model. It's not time yet. Fuck yourself. I'm done with it. I'm not gonna fuck you anymore. Piece of shit. It's fucking working now. No, it's not plugged in here.
Yeah, an effort to make her look crazy is part of it. Did you take your meds? Her silence meds? No, it's just like you say that. If you say that on camera, it's just weird, and it made me feel like because that I met her assistants. They seem like nice people. They seem very close. Like when she went on the Leftovers podcast, like she came to my house. You know what I mean? Like, I and these are people that are like constantly around her, right? 24/7. And I thought that it was I one of the things that I thought about immediately when this was coming out was, you know, like how the fuck did nobody in her immediate circle say or do something about it? You know what I mean? And maybe they were afraid of losing their jobs. Like, were they working? Were they working for the husband? I just don't know. But it does strike me as like, it strikes me like almost like a Britney conservatorship situation where everyone is like motivated by the money and control that the husband has. So their job security relies on the husband. You know what I mean? Like, if she can control the bank accounts like that and make these kinds of decisions on Amouranth's behalf when they literally are hurting her. I mean, there's another threat here as well. He made a threat.
Tell me what I didn't say, especially if the context is literally I was waiting for a response. You were just calling me crazy then.
I didn't say you were.
This part is fucking insane because, like, I mean, it's very clearly it's clear that he's gaslighting her, right? In a weird way, like normally I would say, oh my God, it's so much worse to cover this kind of thing. It's so much worse to have this be live on camera. But seems like this is one of those instances where, like, in a weird way, it seems like the only way to get out of it. You know what I mean? It seems like doing it live is evidence. Like, doing it live it makes it permanent. It is you know, all this evidence. And even now, even when she's doing it live, it's very obvious that there are still people that don't fucking believe her. And part of the reason why people don't believe her is because she's a woman, is because men often do not want to, be empathetic to the plight of women in situations like this. And also because she's a sex worker. So, like, it's just like a double bind of doubly misogynistic shit where people just like don't see you as a human being in any meaningful capacity, which is why you're like, oh, it must be fake. It must be fake.
Crazy.
No. Dude, I'm gonna give you one last chance. I'm gonna irrevocably fucking destroy.
Like, those text messages are made, like, I have no doubt in my mind that those text messages are real, especially after hearing this, because he is basically saying the exact same shit that he's saying in those text messages, just live, on camera, on a phone conversation, which is fucking nutty. Like, he is so comfortable in gaslighting, in abusing, and controlling this person that she literally can be unhinged like this and not think about it at all. Like, not think about how he's coming across. Doesn't matter if he didn't know it was live, which, by the way, I don't know how he didn't know that she was live. I thought someone that has that level of control over her life, how the fuck did he not know? There's no shot.
Everything. I can tell you something that shatters you forever, and I'll start tweeting about it too.
But what? Why would you
Because you are literally telling me I did not say something that I literally said.
That should be okay to let me.
You're just right here. I'm gonna tell you right now, dude. You're about to lose your entire fucking life in terms of everything that's been built because you're too obstinate to just merely accept that you didn't hear a thing. But I'm already very forgiving about that.
Because you're
But no,
literally.
you want to go forward, you want to go aggressive, and you want to say, no,
Phone conversation was muted at first on stream until he started doing this stuff, threatened the dogs, and then she unmuted. Like, how did this guy not think that this would be live? Like, he wanted her to be live 24/7 on that day, right? So, but he didn't know. This was the Amouranth unknowingly described cycle of abuse to a T.
That doesn't fucking help that like all the fucking accounts are like two-factor under his.
Right?
Morning, and I saw this stuff on LSF, and I got a little concerned about Ammo. I tried reaching her out, and I couldn't reach her out. So I did a welfare check on her, and the police can't tell me anything about whether or not she's okay, and that's literally all I can do. I would like to hear from her. I would really like that. That's it.
Yeah. I feel a little uncomfortable talking about a friend's personal life on social media, but I also feel stupid for not noticing any of this. As far as I know, she's currently safe, and that's the important part. That's what Peach Jars said. This is her second account, her personal account. I also want to note I trust their support system, and she also has many people around her willing to support her as well. This is rough to see online, but I have full faith in her, is what Peach Jars said. So yeah. Dude, it's like a nightmare. You know what I mean? It's like a scary story that you sometimes think of, that sometimes you hear about, like Munchausen by proxy. Are you guys familiar with this? If you know what that is, it's this like kind of mental illness where you will literally try to poison someone slowly but surely, and it's something that happens regularly. You poison someone slowly, you poison your victim slowly but surely because you want them to be sick and reliant on you, right? And you can do something, you can basically gaslight people around that individual, that victim, into thinking that that person has like issues, you know what I mean? And things like that happen. Things like that happen all the time. What did you say that's called? That's not what this is, Hasan. No. I'm not saying that's what this is. I'm saying that like abuse between individuals that are incredibly close to one another. Munchausen by proxy is usually happens between a mother and a child. That's what it's called. I'm using it as an analogy to get you to comprehend that like people do incredibly fucked up things to people within their immediate circle when they're like they want to create codependency, and domestic abuse is kind of similar in that respect. Who is Peach that she's in that position? Well, Peach also has an OnlyFans. She lives in Texas. She is probably close to Amouranth to a certain degree. She's close in proximity. So they're similar in that the abuser is usually one of the closest people to the person being abused. Yes, I'm using Munchausen by proxy as analogous, right? As analogous to the situation when describing domestic abuse of this sort. It's conducted, these gross actions are conducted by people that are often the closest to the victim, and they develop, they try to build codependency. Have you met her husband? No, I don't think so. So yeah, it is a horrifying situation that Amouranth is in, and I really hope that she'll be able to get through and get away from this as quickly as possible. Let me see if there was more. Amouranth claims her boyfriend was the one asking her to commit to the hot tub meta. I think we covered this, but here.
We went to therapy in like 2020.
And you're using it to game viewers. This is not a serious accusation. This is a cynical one, but I will mention it. As is the case with every single instance that happens, whether it's happening in Twitch or whether it's happening in the real world, I'm using this as an opportunity beyond informing people, but using this as an opportunity, one, to first cover the news, and two, educate people on things like domestic abuse, on things like misogyny, on things like depersonalizing and dehumanizing sex workers and women. That's my overarching goal here, beyond getting the word out and doing it in a careful manner.
It doesn't fucking help that like all the fucking accounts are like two-factor under his number and all the he has all like the login information.
Yes, I am very calm. So yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy that that, like I said, this happened. Happened while this happened in front of everyone's eyes, pretty much. What's really fucked up is after the yelling and insults and abuse, they flip back for the day or the week, start being sweet, normal. You feel loved again, like at the beginning, but now and always you're walking on eggshells in a feedback loop. Literally rewrites you as a person. Yeah. Slime with a great take once again. Basically describing the cycle of abuse and how it works. What is this? Is Amouranth secretly married?
What's your like personal life like? Are you married? Are you living?
I'm married to my work, really. I don't really do anything else. Like this, I live and breathe and eat content.
That's the way to do it. If you want it, I mean.
I just like I'm not gonna have this opportunity forever.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. I know exactly what you mean. I was seeing rumors that you were like, someone told me you were married, so I guess that's not true.
Just today in my chat, people told me we were married. I feel like I get that every single day. Someone.
Yeah. This is like all the stuff in hindsight that she was mentioning about this. Did you know she had a husband, or was he hidden for you guys as well? Would he even be more manipulative? No, I had no fucking idea. But also, I don't give a shit. That's the difference between me and, like, I guess, between me, a normal person, and parasocial viewers who always want to fucking pry into people's personal relationships and personal lives and try to, like, get additional, squeeze more content out of that person, get additional information. It's like people are very entitled about the personal lives of streamers, when, like, if they don't want to put it out there, if they're not putting it, if they're not openly talking about it, it shouldn't be up to you. Ha ha ha, Hasan thinks he's normal. Well, I guess I'm a little bit more normal than you are if you think that you're entitled to someone's private fucking life like that. You know what I mean? It's crazy to me. The level of entitlement is fucking crazy to me. Aren't you friends? Weird thing to hide from friends. It doesn't change. We're not like super close friends or anything. We're peers, right? I've hung out with her and stuff, but ultimately, like, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I don't care. I don't care, and neither should you, really. Like, we're not. I don't know. Anyway, like, her husband was also trying to fucking hide this, so it was him that forced her to not come out. Kind of important info, though. For what reason? What's the reason? Why is that important? And I'm asking this very seriously. I know this is probably going to piss off a lot of people in Twitch chat, especially because if you're in Twitch chat, a lot of you do think that you are entitled to this information. But why do you think it's important? I'm not saying this to, like, call this person out. Just as a friend or coworker? No, why? Why? Like, my opinion of Amouranth would not change if I found out that she was married or not. You know what I mean? I don't think it changes anything. Like, for people saying, like, oh man, you know, what about fucking fans? What about fans like this she lied to? It's like, well, okay, she doesn't. You're not entitled to know if she's married or not. You know, you're not entitled to know what people want to keep private about their own lives. I think that that's normal. I don't know. It's hard to get this point across, but you're not, you know, if someone is not fucking telling you something about their private lives, that should be, those boundaries should be respected. And I think people will like turn around and be like, well, you asked for this to happen because you are a Twitch streamer, so you have parasocial stands or whatever. But it's like, well, those people fucking maintain the boundaries. You are the one who's not. So what's up with you, you fucking freak? There's no such thing. Anyway, that's unrelated though. I mean, the husband is manipulated, fuck, probably, but playing into the whole I am single will ask directly. She's dishonest too. Bro, she says she wanted to come out with it. What the fuck are you talking about? But even if she personally didn't want to reveal that information, she has the right to. I think it's crazy that people can't comprehend that. Can and should set boundaries as a content creator with your own audience and with everyone else that extends beyond it. You're additionally wrong for this take because you're having this take in a circumstance where someone was like very clearly abused into not revealing this information. You already are aware of the cycle of abuse there. But even if there was no abuse, it's just like, what's it to you? Her job is as an entertainer. Her job is to do entertainment. Okay? Like these people, some of you literally, I think some of you watch porn and think that that's like real. You know what I mean? In the sense that you think genuinely that these people are stepsister and stepbrother with one another or something. Like, you know? You're like, oh man, I can't believe the fucking, the back rooms, security guy keeps catching people so much. It's so crazy that all these women are like stealing, tiny items before having legitimate sex with the security guy. It's not real. It's entertainment. Those people have fucking husbands and wives and shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's not, like, not to break your immersion, but like, no one actually has ever been legitimately trapped in a washing machine. Okay? Holy fuck. Chatters will go to the movies and go, oh my God, it's so crazy that godlike deities live around us and can fly around. It's so crazy that this teenager was bit by a radioactive spider and now can shoot webs out of his fucking hands, dude. That's crazy to me. Yeah, it is, because it's not real. It's fake. Anyway. So yeah. And the webs are a chemical compound, not from some web gland, despite some misinformation. Okay, first of all, no, that's two separate. You're literally talking about two separate Spider-Mans. Okay, I'm sorry, I have to dispel this. Okay, no, there are two separate Spider-Mans. One that actually organically shoots webs out of like the fucking hole in his wrist or his hand, and the other that has made the web thing. Okay, there are two different Spider-Men or multiple different Spider-Men. So you're just not right about that. You're completely wrong about that. Just like thinking that you'd be not seeing an ad at the top of the hour. Well, you were right about that because I didn't run it at the top of the hour, but I'm going to run it now. A 1-minute ad break is coming. They need to put some respect on Toby's name. Yeah, they're inside of you. There are two Spider-Men. I used to work for the Midtown Comics you shopped at, and I'm so proud of you. Oh, I love that Midtown Comics. Anyway, we're gonna move on from this, and I'm gonna cover like the immediate reaction to it. Okay. Okay. Here's the 1-minute ad break now. If you don't want to see the ads, you can subscribe for $5 or for free with the Twitch Prime, or by getting gifted a sub if you're lucky. Thank you, Big Pharma, for the 5 gifted subs. We're gonna look at like the Keemstar and a couple of reactions to show you how the fuck this works. Okay. To show you how people react to it. And then after that, I will get to Kanye West wilding out on yet another podcast where a person going through a manic episode is being asked to drink. This is one Mo TV.
It was recorded when if he wants to really prove a point to her like that, he should record himself and her talking, say the fucked up thing he said, and then play it back to her later to say, see, this is exactly what happened, but you don't remember because you were emotionally triggered. But still, like, it doesn't give him the right. But I don't know why this fight is a fight.
You didn't say it. You're being crazy. That's what you did. Listen, it's okay to be emotionally frail. It's okay. It would be even better if you just accepted and admitted it instead of being so defensive.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, I'm trying to like focus on the tears, but I keep looking down, and I'm not trying to look at her cleavage, but it's just such a big part. Like, I've been even focusing on this thing on the left. This
Bro, even if you have intrusive thoughts, the best thing to do is just not fucking say it, okay? Streamers have no fucking filter. It's just like, it's just crazy. Why did you show this to me? Like, having that thought across the board is wild. But let's say you had it. Why are you saying it? The fuck is wrong with you, man? No, he's a father with children. Yes. Anyway, let's continue. So there was also this, as I saw. Reminder that for every Amouranth situation, there are somehow people like Keemstar who downplay an abusive situation and somehow try and put it back on the victim. Fucking weirdo, says Jake Sucky. Clearly, the husband is abusing. She showed the text. But here's what you don't have to do. Okay? Well, here's what you shouldn't do. Put the but there. What do you mean, but? What but? Amouranth herself has scammed so many guys online, claiming she was single for years. These Twitch streamers don't care about their viewers. They all just use you and your low IQs to fill their pockets. That's bananas. That's insane. Could have been a moment where Keemstar did not find mathematically the absolute worst fucking take you can, right? Could have been that moment for him. And he chose to do what Keemstar always does. Okay? He chose to do what Keem does. So all of porn is a scam then? Yeah, if you're stupid, then yes, all of porn is technically a scam. If you think that porn stars do not have, their own personal lives, if you think that they're like legitimately stepsister and stepbrother with one another, if you think that people are legitimately getting stuck in a fucking washing machine, like unironically, if you think that people are actually doing a backroom casting couch, for example, then yes, then it is a scam for you because you're too stupid to understand that it's entertainment and should be consumed as such. And that when entertainers are done entertaining, they're human beings. And this oftentimes is a thing that is hard to. It's hard to comprehend for a lot of people in the Twitch streaming sphere. It's hard for people to comprehend. It's hard for stans to comprehend this when they're talking about their favorite content creators and stuff, right? But I think overall, even stans are fucking better equipped than the weird like parasocial haters are in understanding in understanding boundaries, right? But this is especially a part of the way that people operate and the way that people analyze sex workers and their personal lives, because they're like, well, she's objectifying herself, so ultimately I should be able to objectify her in every part of her life. There is no person at that in that moment, just a completely irrelevant point. No, that is not an irrelevant point. It is at the heart of this fucking misunderstanding, okay? Everybody in entertainment to a certain degree faces this kind of thing. People just don't think like Chris Hemsworth is Chris Hemsworth. They think he's Thor to a certain degree, right? Obviously, mega celebrities have a level of privacy that is built in to their lives, so most people can't pry in as much. Do you understand? Whereas like the further down the fucking entertainment content rung you go, the more people feel like they have a say in your lives, and the more people feel entitled to every part of your lives. And it happens all the time. It happens in every part of the industry. However, it is so much worse when you're a woman because of misogyny, and it's also infinitely worse on top of that, okay? It's infinitely worse on top of that when you are a sex worker. And like everybody understands it. People don't fucking think that like Johnny Sins is an astronaut. You know? When Johnny Sins is done fucking your mom, he's Johnny Sins, or whatever his real, Christian name is, whatever his government name is. You know what I mean? He's a normal human being. The reason why I'm using a male porn star as an example is because oftentimes the misogynistic audience is a better way of recognizing the humanity of people and not objectifying them when it's a dude. And in this circumstance, it doesn't even seem like she was the one who was, keeping this relationship a secret. She wanted to come out with it. And her husband was the one who was like, no, it's bad for our business model. It's bad for our business model. And it's not the case regardless. Like, it's not up to us to understand, recognize, know what is going on there in their personal lives. It's disgusting to see the internet continue to invalidate and dehumanize victims of abuse. What Amouranth has been trapped in is very real, especially having joint accounts, married, dealing with threats, etc. I hope she gets the freedom and relief any human in abuse deserves. Yeah. It's crazy. And there was a guy, your fellow Arab or something, I think, who said something along the lines of like, I mean, he made a joke. He made a very tasteless and careless joke, basically about it being like, lol. Like, it's crazy that you fucking saw this video and then this is what you came out with. You know what I mean? Amouranth has had a husband this whole time, yet I've been gifting thousands of tier 3 subs every month. How do you charge back on a credit card?
I've been wanting to tell people that, like, let's just stream together. Just tell them that we're fucking married. Because it's like, our relationship would be better if we just stream them. And it's fighting all the time. But no, mister, don't say that because it's going to ruin the business model. It's not time yet. Fuck yourself. I'm done with it. I'm not going to fuck you anymore. Piece of shit.
Yeah. Like, it's just not the time, you know what I mean? It has to be satire. Yeah, no shit. I don't think he actually gave thousands of tier 3 subs to Amouranth every month, guys. He's making a joke about him being like the supposedly fake Oiler simp that like Pokimane has and shit, right? Like they say Pokey has this as well. And like in other instances, it's in other instances like fine, it's like misogynistic. It's up to the context. It's up to the relationship that you have with the other individual. You know what I mean? If you're gonna make a joke like that, but like making it on top of this fucking person, like bawling her eyes out as she reveals her 7-year-long domestic abuse is, this guy hates you because of the Andrew Tate debate. Okay, whatever. I don't give a shit. Once y'all realize that your financial dedications to a content creator don't entitle you to anything other than what you specifically pay for, ad breaks, skips, special emotes, merch, etc., the world will know peace. They're not scamming you. Your parasocial ass is scamming yourself. Look at that. My fans understand it. It's a boundary that I fucking set a very long time ago. And it's one that I'm unafraid of repeating regularly. Okay? There you go. It's something that I talk about routinely. I'm like, listen, I'm a fucking content creator. I'm a streamer. I'm very honest with you. Okay? But like, I want to maintain a level of privacy. I want to maintain a level of privacy when I fuck your moms. Okay? That's between me and your mom. Even you don't need to know. Just because she's moaning in the other room doesn't mean you need to know about how hard I'm fucking your mom. Okay? But yeah. You get what you pay for and you don't pay for private details, you pay for entertainment. Yeah. Man, I'm watching on speakers and she's one room away. That's fucked up. Yeah, if you think that's fucked up. At TwitchCon, I found out that like moms actually do watch me alongside the kids. So Anyway. Canadian Creator, thank you for the 5 gifted. But yeah. My community is great. And this is also part of the reason why. Because they, no matter how big of a fan they might be of me, they also understand and respect these boundaries. Okay? They get it. And there's no amount of justification that you can engage in. If a Hasan Stan account understands this reality, you should be able to understand it as well. Okay? People love to say, like, oh, dick riders, whatever. Well, you know. Simps are crying right now, like with Pokemon, lol. Like, no, it's just like everyone trying to. I don't follow her. I just know her from the pool streams, and I really don't care. Bro, she's being abused, and this is what you have to say? Jesus Christ. Yeah, people are fucking trying to farm impressions off of it. Okay? And that's it. That's what they're going along with. And it's fucked up. I don't care that I'm being a fucking dickhead. It is not the own you think it is. Okay? When people are like, well, what's going on? Like, why are you behaving this way? And you go, I don't care. It's like, well, you do care. You cared enough to make a fucking joke about it. But also, you know, you're a dick. Like you, yes, like me. I farm off of, every instance of war. But it's weird because I'm also farming, technically, when no one is actually paying attention as well. It's just an odd thing. You know? It's so odd that I just, talk about issues like this, like larger concepts such as sexual assault, domestic violence, domestic abuse, all the time, even when you're not fucking tuned in. I guess I'm farming then too, but you don't give a shit when it's happening. Very odd. I've never seen you talk about those things when I wasn't tuned in. Yeah, it's so crazy. Thanks for tanking the internet. You're the number 2 chat tank after the entire hot tub category. Yeah. Team doesn't understand how fucking dense do you have to be. I've been getting a lot of tweets saying I support Amouranth getting abused. No. Or that I'm supporting her abuser. No. Or that I'm victim blaming. Also no. I was just making the point that I don't feel like any creator should lie to their fan base for money. It's wrong. Yeah, unless it's Keemstar doing it, in which case it's so right. Like calling people pedophiles. Without any sort of evidence whatsoever. Or, by the way, he's lying in that tweet. Like his business model, he's lying in that tweet. Even when you move beyond his business model of just like trafficking misinformation regularly to spark up drama, what he calls drama, when sometimes it's literally criminal actions. Like he's literally lying in that tweet without realizing maybe he's too stupid to understand it. But no, he is victim blaming. So that's a lie. When he says, I'm not victim blaming, you're fucking lying. You did victim blame. Saying like, Amouranth Amouranth is in the wrong here when she is straight up being abused and exploited. Is victim blaming. That's what that is. That is the textbook definition of victim blaming. I don't understand how people can't comprehend that. Amouranth is a victim. If you understand that she is a victim and you are placing the blame on her, that's what you are doing. Because you recognize that she is a victim. Here, let's look at the Wikipedia of it so he understands what it is. Victim blaming occurs when a victim of a crime or any wrongful act is held entirely or partially at fault for the harm that befell them. Okay? If you look at a situation like Amouranth's and you recognize that she is a victim of exploitation of domestic abuse, but then you turn around and say, but she deserved it, or you turn around and say she lied to her fans and, put the blame or the emphasis on her, well, then you're victim blaming. That's what that is. Okay? She has agency here. Don't compare her to Britney. Why not? I mean, why not? Literally, it's domestic abuse through and through. You look at the fucking actions of that. Like her agency is quite literally so marginal in her own fucking life that she doesn't have access to her bank accounts. Chatter, what the fuck do you mean? It's basically a conservatorship through marriage. Incels don't see her as a victim, so they didn't see it as victim blaming. Yeah, I know. Look, does she have agency though? Seems like she might be a prisoner. From everything that she has mentioned, it does seem like she had pretty much no fucking agency. Like, bro, she didn't have agency to take fucking time off to go to Disneyland. Okay? The fuck? She couldn't take a day off to go to Disneyland. This dude was like, if you want to take a day off to go to Disneyland, you got to do a 24-hour stream. Hello? Does that strike you as the type of person who has agency in her life? Or does that strike you as the type of person who has no agency in her life? I work with survivors of abuse, and while we hope she'll leave, a survivor will leave 7 times before they're done for good. Hopefully no one criticizes her if she tries to work it out with them or walk statements back. Yeah. You got to do a 24-hour stream. Why is no one mad at the abusive husband for scamming someone like hello, the business model? Well, remember, hello, it's misogyny. People weren't mad at Andrew Tate when Andrew Tate was pimping women and literally was the person who was duping dudes into fucking emptying out their bank accounts. And people were like, lol, that's fine. That's why I joined Hustlers University. Andrew Tate openly was just like, I was literally milking these motherfuckers. I was the one who was writing this shit. And people still place him high up like a fucking deity. Also, Amouranth for years got praised for being a genius businesswoman. Based on this new information, the hidden husband behind the scenes was the one making all the businesswoman moves. So, like, he is doing everything he can to be as, like, this is, I hadn't even thought about this, okay? This motherfucker is, like, hitting every angle he possibly could. Like, he's trying to be as misogynistic as he possibly can. It's crazy, dude. Notice how the scamming is done on behalf of Amouranth, okay? Like, Amouranth is the one lying to her audience, and that's disingenuous and that's indecent, even though the husband literally told her to lie and keep the relationship private. But also the big business moves, the big money moves, that was all on the husband. You don't know anything. Bigotry is like a puzzle piece, okay? I've talked about this before. Bigotry is like a puzzle piece, right? Sometimes when you look at a situation, you have an empty puzzle piece in there that like perfectly locks the situation in place. You see, let's say, a car was stolen, okay? If your immediate inclination is that a black person stole it, you have a racism puzzle piece, okay? You added that puzzle piece. You saw a car that was stolen, and you thought about suspects, and the puzzle piece was racism. Blam, you thought it was a black person. In this circumstance, it's misogyny, okay? There are parts of the circumstance where, like, you have information, and then there are parts of the circumstance where you don't have some information. You don't have access to this information, and you're making it up as you go along. That is Keem, though, so does it really surprise you? It does and it doesn't. It doesn't surprise me that he came up with the worst possible fucking take in this situation, but sometimes I'm like, God damn, dude, you really exercise, you massage parts of your fucking brain to come to become as creative as possible, to be as misogynistic as possible. In a situation like this, where someone comes out, openly talks on a live broadcast about their abuse, shows proof about their abuse, their ongoing fucking exploitation, this person that like has locked their fucking business accounts, like has a tentacle on every fucking aspect of their lives, and you still go, how am I going to make this in the most creative and unique way the problem of the victim? That's wild. I mean, that's up there. That's creative. Why do I feel like he doesn't believe his own takes? No, I think he does. I think he believes his own takes. I definitely think he believes his own takes. What do you mean? He's that stupid. Like, I'm going to look through this thread one more time to see if there's anything I forgot to mention, but I think I mentioned everything. Keem is the most divorced dad of all time. Yeah, but man's will reach for anything to be in the spotlight, especially with the bad takes. Does no one remember when he said all the Minecraft YouTubers were turning gay when Rambo came out? Jesus Christ. Anyway. I deleted the whole Amouranth thread. Too many people are making bad faith arguments, manipulating what I said, and straight lying. I also need to take some responsibility for not communicating my points better. I'm going to respond to all this tomorrow live on the Keem Star Show. Yeah, he's just promoting his show. Dude, remember when Keemstar said he was gonna fucking remember when Keemstar said he was gonna fucking retire? It was so sick. All was well in the universe for like a brief moment. AB raid? Hey, AB, thank you for the raid. You just finished a 24-hour stream? Oh, nice. Anyway. What is he going to retire from being a piece of shit on the internet? I mean, that'd be cool.
It's late. I was getting my cheeks demolished. I was getting my fucking back walls blown out, dude.
Absolute bananas. On the timeline.